weird fucking guys. You're doing a manly thing, and you're a fucking dork.
I've got my lightsaber wearing my Pokemon hat today. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Wow, you're a real Renaissance man, you know that?
Goddamn man-child.
What a fucking dork.
Yeah. But he's our dork.
This is not for children.
It's not for children, John.
Weird fucking guys. That guy sounds like me.
A little bit.
A little bit. You know who people tell me I sound like a lot? Owen Wilson.
Owen or Luke? I never know the difference.
The fucking guy who says, wow.
Yeah, you do sound like
People tell me I sound
Say that
like,
again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could, doesn't he narrate the movie Cars?
I don't know. You know who my son Victor loves Cars.
Really?
If he watches it once a week.
Dude, he's like 35 years old, man.
He loves it.
Victor,
He's
what
loved
the
it since
fuck
he was
is
a
wrong
child.
with you? Really?
It's one of his favorite. It's like one of his favorite childhood memories is the movie Cars.
I won't break his balls too bad.
No, he loves it. I think it's cool.
It is. Dude, listen. As a grown man,
yeah,
I won't go sit and watch it by myself.
Listen, I love everything from when I was a kid.
Really?
Everything.
I like Ren and Stimpy. I still watch that.
Yeah, you see, I love G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
You know, I love Marvel Comics, DC Comics. I love Batman.
Yeah, but you don't like the Marvel movies.
I think I got burnt out on them.
I will say this:
it was too much of an expectation.
So these little
for me to keep up with
these little mini series after Endgame, I mentally checked out of the movies.
Yeah,
I did. I was like, all right, dude, I'm done. I can't
because you're exhausted.
Yeah,
yeah.
But the mini series they've been doing for individual characters, like
That's
for
cool.
instance, the most recent one, Loki.
Loki's good.
Dude, Loki's done, but I love the fact that, and again, this comes back to what we were talking about on the previous episode about multiverses, is that in some facet, Loki still exists.
Yeah.
You know? And actually, when you really think about it, he's the timekeeper now, so he's the pretty much the strongest being in the whole
Marvel universe, yeah.
Yeah, like he kind of really is. He's the one that's holding it all together. You know? But anyway, we won't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Nah, but I mean, like, I don't know. I'm very nostalgic for things. Which is kind of what this episode's about. So
yeah.
It's almost Christmas time.
Yeah, so when we were thinking about like what to talk about on this episode, and then I went upstairs and turned on The Grinch. Yeah. Not the Jim Carrey version, because my kids...
Oh, the cartoon version?
The cartoon version, yeah. For some reason, my kids have a hard time watching...
live action?
Like, with real actors, even though it's a very cartoonish movie. But I think that kind of freaks them out. Maybe it looks too real.
Yeah, the makeup and shit like that.
Yeah, in their head, they're like, nah, this ain't fucking fantasy. That's a real human.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But right now, they're watching The Grinch, and I always tell my son, because sometimes my son's he's like a little bit of a curmudgeon, you know?
Yeah.
So
miserable little bastard.
Yeah, sometimes he's a little grumpy, you know? You wake him up a little too early, and he's a miserable MFer, you know? But sometimes I tell him, I'm like, you're the Grinch. You're the Grinch, buddy, you know?
Yeah, I like him. That's my buddy.
So what, dude, growing up, man, Christmas time for you, what was, what's some, great memories, man?
Great memories of Christmas?
Yeah.
I mean, I got some decent ones. I had some really sentimental ones, but I would say when I was 5.
You can remember that?
Oh yeah, man! I got a great memory.
Yeah.
So when I was 5, after we had done all the gifts and opening things, we were getting ready to go. We had to go see my grandmother who lived out here in Norwood. We lived in Grace Ferry in Philadelphia, and that was how we would do it. During the day, we would go to my mother's family because they did everything early. And then later on in the day, we'd go to my father's family, my grandmother who lived in Jersey with my aunt.
Okay.
And this was the aunt that couldn't cook. I think I've talked about her a few times. She couldn't cook for shit.
Yeah.
And then we'd get back home and we would eat our own dinner and stuff like that. And But
Dude, fuck her food. Let's go.
yeah. Well, Christmas Eve was always fun because my uncle over in Jersey would have this massive Christmas Eve party. Like, Christmas Eve was bigger than Christmas, and we would go there sometimes. But the next day we'd have to make the rounds or whatever. That went on for a few years, and then we stopped doing it. But this particular morning, we opened all our gifts and shit like that, and we were getting ready to go. My mom's putting her makeup on and everything in the bathroom, and I had to take a fucking huge shit. And I'm like, I'm fucking 5. You know what I mean? I'm maybe 6. I don't even remember what year it was. It might have been 85, 86.
Little guy dropping a loaf.
Dude, this was a country-size shit. And I fucking, I go in the bathroom.
Last episode, we were so wholesome, had a very heart-to-heart.
Yeah, we got like
and now,
Christmas shit story.
Imagine a 5-year-old just sitting, growing out of the toilet as this mountain of shit.
I'm sitting there trying to go, and this motherfucker was not coming.
Ugh.
And I knew it was
stretch the O-ring, man.
I knew it was going to be bad. And I just remember my mom, like, over the sink in the fucking mirror, doing her makeup and shit. And, the sound of fucking hair dryers going and all that stuff. Like,
and then
my
all
mom,
of a sudden, plop, plop.
To this day, my mom's production for getting ready for anything is like, where the fuck do you find the time to do all that, But, yeah, so I'm sitting on the toilet. I don't even think my feet could touch the fucking ground yet or whatever. And I'm pushing and pushing and pushing, and I start panicking. And I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And I'm saying it. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And she's like, my mom's like, shut the fuck up. And then she like turns around and she like looks me in the eye and she's like, just relax.
Remember when moms used to say that to you? Shut the fuck.
Yeah. So she turns around and she sits down. She holds both of my hands and she's like, just relax. Just breathe. Use your diaphragm. And I start like fucking. So finally the shit comes.
Oh man, she taught you how to birth it.
Bro, I swear to God, man. This thing was like fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
And we looked at it and my mother was like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, how did that come out of your little... Like, I was a little fucking guy,
Dude.
It was crazy. But that's like one of my little Christmas memories is this big shit. So whenever anybody's like, you got any Christmas memories? My first memory is this massive fucking shit.
For the record.
For the record.
John is the one that started this episode off talking about a massive 5-year-old shit,
Yeah, I was young, man. I was a little kid.
Dude, it is amazing because I have these small children, you know. Sometimes they will take a dump, and I'm like, dude, it is literally 1/3 the size of your fucking body.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck was this stored at, dude?
Yeah, it's crazy.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Were you storing part of this up in your fucking head? Like, where? Yeah. Where? Your head and your chest are the two biggest parts of your body.
Dude, when I recall it, like, I swear to God, it looked as round as this fucking,
dude,
like,
it was
mic
probably
guard.
Like 2 inch by half an inch. It was probably
it was big. Because to this day, if I call my mother up right now,
she'll tell you, John, remember that time we took a huge shit?
And I'll say, hey, you remember that big shit I took when I was a kid? And she's like, I guarantee you the first words out of her fucking mouth will be, I'm gonna die. I guarantee it. I want to call her right the fuck right now.
Dude, we should do that sometime. Just call your mom. Fuck it. Let's do this.
I'll try it.
Yeah,
I can't guarantee that she's going to answer, though.
Let's see what happens, man.
Let's see if this fucking crazy bitch is awake. Oh, man. Fuck.
Put her on the mic. Put her on the mic.
I guarantee you the first thing she'd say is
she Mrs. Lombardo or what's
we call her Mrs. Lombardo.
Yeah.
Big Pat.
Big Pat.
She probably ain't even going to answer. This is going to be all for naught.
Oh, that would be sad. That's okay. We tried.
She never answers.
Really?
Maybe
she'll call back.
She might.
Hey, Ma.
Come on.
Hey, Ma. Come on.
Hi, this is Tricia.
Yeah, nah.
Leave a message and I'll get back to you.
No luck.
Okay.
I guarantee you the
tried.
first words out of her mouth would be, I'm going to die.
Yeah. All right.
But,
well, anyway.
Yeah, that was all for nothing.
Nah,
But,
it was fun. You
yeah,
know?
it's fun.
The anticipation. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe
right.
she'll answer and we'll hear some crazy shit. You know?
Dude, that's somebody I would love to have as a guest.
Do you want
On
to do it?
My mother is funny as fuck, dude.
Dude, I'll tell you what. We'll do an episode with your mom.
Oh, it'd be fucking
And then we'll do an
funny.
episode with my mom.
Yeah.
And my mom
That would be
is a
fun.
recovering addict
Yeah.
from Eddystone that was a truck driver.
Oh, no shit.
Dude, she
I could talk to
probably
her.
knows some of your people, but
Oh, that's
also
cool.
talks like a fucking truck driver.
See, my mom, like, to look at her, you'd be, like, almost intimidated because my mother's, like, she's older now. She's, like, 67, 68 years old. She's getting up there.
Yeah. My mom's about that age.
She looks like she's, like, 45, 50.
Really?
She looks really good for her age. She's always taking. She's very, like, I don't want to say it in a bad way. She's very vain. Like,
Yeah.
she cares a lot about her appearance.
Okay.
So, like, to look at her and then to talk to her,
Yeah.
the juxtaposition of the two doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Because she's funny. Like,
Yeah.
she curses a lot.
Yeah.
She's, like, humorous. Like, a lot of the humor that I have and my sense of humor comes from my mom.
Me too.
Yeah.
My
Like,
mom's a little tiny.
She's really irreverent.
Dude, my mom is a 4'11", little tiny Irish leprechaun.
I think I met her
lady.
at the barbecue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I did meet her.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. We should do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, that'd be
For
fucking
for
great.
the people listening out there, would you like to hear from our mommies? Would you like to hear about our mommies and their crazy stories? Dude, my mom will tell you some fucking wild stories. I don't want to divulge anything. I would rather let her decide whether she wants to tell some wild shit or not, but she probably will because she
Yeah, she don't give a shit.
Dude, she's an open book. She don't like
Yeah.
like I said on the last episode, I made a joke about her being a hooker and she laughed about it. Like she was like, shit happens, you know? Gotta feed that
You gotta
addiction.
do what you gotta do. No, my mom is like fucking funny, dude. She's a funny chick.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's funny.
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's like she's quick.
Yeah.
You know, like she's got like this underlying kind of current of humor all the time. She's kind of bitchy, but still like fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Dude, my mom would totally do an episode. I'm
Yeah?
gonna fucking call her after this and
Yeah,
talk to
bring
her.
her down here.
She might come by tomorrow morning.
I'll come back tomorrow to talk to your mom.
Dude, that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
funny.
Well, we're supposed to be
Let's
doing
go one for one here. Give me one of your fucking Christmas shit stories or something.
I don't think I have any Christmas.
No, I'm not asking for a shit story.
No, but I'm trying to think like all right, well, so I'll say this. Dude, I'm a huge anti-present person. Like
Yeah?
I don't
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, so I'm trying to think like I remember as a kid, and I don't like that my daughter does this. I know that I did it as a kid. We wanted very specific things. My daughter wants very specific things. And if you don't get that very specific thing,
That's how Victor was. Victor would always ask for one thing.
yeah, well, then there's the disappointment of like, you didn't get me the exact thing. As a kid, I wanted these very particular rollerblades.
Right.
My dad didn't get them ones. He got different ones. And I remember being like really disappointed. But now as an adult, I am so regretful about that because now I see the value in like, dude, he was just trying to make me happy
Right.
and I was being a miserable little shit, you know? And it's like, I don't even know how to break that. I don't know how to stop that pattern. So like when I think about early memories of I don't want to talk about bad. I really want. I'll tell you what. Today, what we're supposed to do when my wife gets home from work, we're supposed to drive out to a farm and go cut
yeah?
down a Christmas tree.
Oh, cut it down.
Yeah, because even just the idea of like the kids running and playing hide and seek through the Christmas trees, that's something that we did, me
Yeah.
and my siblings as kids, and we did it before when they were a little smaller. They were probably a year or two ago. We tried it. But this time I think it'll be fun because
That sounds like more of an experience than just going to a fucking lot and picking a tree out. Yeah.
I think it's my life, I'm trying to build this sequence of experiences that I can reflect on. It's not always about, it's a mental picture. Dude, sometimes I literally stop my daughter and like she's just a fucking angel. You know, like sometimes I stop her and I'm just like, and she just like gives me this very curious look and she's just like, "What are you doing, Daddy?" And I'm like, I'm just taking a mental picture. You know, like I'm just remembering the way you look right now because
Not gonna last very long.
well, I mean, she's gonna grow up. It's not gonna get worse or bad.
Oh
or
no,
anything,
no.
but
It's just what it is right now isn't always gonna be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, dude, it's Halloween was cool because she had this little butterfly dress. It was like this monarch butterfly dress, and it was just beautiful. You know, she would run around the house and just flap her little arms because they had like these wing things hanging from it, and she just fucking danced all over this house, and it's just like it's fascinating. And my son is like so much of a boy. He's just a little bulldozer. He's just like, I gotta calm him down because his sister wants to play with him, but not as rough as he wants to play, you know? So, like, it's like, dude, we're going to have to probably get you into football or boxing or something because you're like, you got too much fucking energy, man. You're like me, you know? But girls don't play like this, you know? So, so Christmas for me is like, I'm trying to create these memories and these positive...
It's not about the material. It's
I
not
don't
about
give
the
a
gift.
fuck about that.
I don't really now either.
Yeah.
You know, like, I kind of like, you know, I would rather, like, cook with my kids.
Yeah.
Than I would, you know, sit there and buy them something extravagant, you know?
I think my son is more of that kind of person. I think my daughter is the struggle because my daughter goes to, like, the daycare or whatever, or, like, at school. I don't know where she sees
She gets that outside influence of the other kids.
Well, and she sees their toys. She asks for their toys, and it's like... Dude, it doesn't matter. Like, it's going to be such a difficult task explaining to her that this is all just shit.
It is. It is
You know?
just shit. There's a certain amount of, like,
and more importantly...
sentimentality to some of the stuff, though, I guess.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, to just want something, to want it is one thing, and, you know, if it means something to you, I guess, you know.
It's tough because, like, so for her Mickey Mouse that she carries around everywhere... Sometimes she just doesn't give a shit and leaves it laying around.
Right.
And to me, it's important because this is something that, like, you know, like, it's forever in my mind. The day that she, like, officially says, I don't give a shit about this toy no more. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take it and put it somewhere, like, I got a room where I get dressed at, and, like, my wife and kids have their room where all their clothes are in our house.
Right.
We have 4-bedroom house here. I took the smallest little room, and I get dressed in there. And it's because I'm kind of OCD and I want all my shit separate. But I'm a grease monkey. I'm a dirtball. So, like, I don't want my dirty clothes getting washed with theirs because there might be fucking lithium grease or oil or whatever, diesel fuel. And I don't want their shit smelling like me, you know? So anyway, I might put her little Mickey Mouse doll in my room because to me it's sentimental.
Right.
You know? But it bothers me because sometimes she doesn't give a shit and she'll just leave it laying anywhere. And I have to, like, explain to her, dude, if you care about this, go get it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's easy to be, when you're a kid, to kind of be discouraged and to kind of, you know.
I'm just trying to work on that and, like, just, like,
place
with
more
my son.
value on it, yeah.
Well, so my son likes doing things with us, you know? My son's usually, you know, he's usually the one that comes down here and is like, hey, what are you guys doing? I want to come hang out with you, you know? And I love that about him. I really do, you know? And my daughter, like, dude, it's so fascinating raising children because it's just different with each one of them, you know? My daughter I know every fucking parent says their kid's a genius, but I sincerely think that my daughter is pretty intelligent. I'm not going to say a genius. I don't know, but I do know that, like...
Girls are smart, man.
Dude, the other day, she's 4, and we drove past the cemetery yesterday, and she said, what is all that? You know, right in Collingdale, there's an old Jewish cemetery.
Yeah.
And it is fucking stacked front to back with stones.
Yeah, because they're buried standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a tight graveyard. So she's like, what is all that? And I'm like, well, they're gravestones, you know? And then she's like, well, what is that? Oh, I don't know what that means. And I'm like, well... There's dead people buried in there, you know? Well, why are they buried? And I'm like, okay.
That's a good question. Why are they buried? Yeah.
Well, so then she's...
Not to get into a whole conversation.
Then she says, you know, someday are you going to be buried in there? And I was like, no, I want a tree where I'll be buried at. You know, that's what I would like. You know, I want to be cremated and then put my ashes in the ground and put a tree on top of
I
it.
think there's a thing now where you can be like wrapped in a shroud,
Yeah,
and you put your body in the ground,
yeah,
and then they can't like go like, well, at least for the foreseeable future, they can't like fucking tear down that area and build something on it. You know what I mean?
yeah. I don't
think
really.
they call them green funerals. I think it's called a green funeral.
I'm interested in that. You
Yeah.
know, I want to give back to the earth. You know,
I personally just want to get cremated.
yeah,
Yeah, I just do away with whatever's here. I don't like the idea of taking up any real estate. Not to get morbid on this.
that's how I feel about cemeteries. To me, a cemetery is like a useless plot of
waste of
land.
space.
I used to try back a few years ago. I was writing this joke about combining golf courses and cemeteries and making them the same place. You know, so that you had to like, you want to play golf, you got to go visit your fucking, descendants. You know, so it didn't take off though. But I thought about making a skit and like pretending like we were
Have
playing
like a guy
golf.
like pulling the fucking ball out of like somebody's grandmother's mouth or something.
Well, I was going to write it like as like there was a point system, and if you got it into the grave that they were currently hosting a funeral at, there's like a certain amount of points you get for that,
Yeah.
and like, the fucking ball just flying up as a funeral's going on.
Yeah.
But it was like a little thing. It was a thought of mine, is combining the two, But I do think that both are pretty much a huge waste of space.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
All right, but let's get back to Christmas, man.
All right, so Christmas, man, family stuff. What about movies-wise? Like, everybody always wants to have this fucking talk about Die Hard.
I don't give a fuck about Die Hard, dude.
Dude,
I don't
Die
give a
Hard
shit.
was like a mediocre action movie.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I love Bruce Willis. I really
Yeah.
sincerely do. But, dude, that is not one of my, like,
Nah,
go-to
it's not one of my
fucking
go-to Bruce
movies.
Willis movies, no.
You
Not at
know?
all.
I'll say this. If we're going to dive into movies just a little bit, I think my favorite, honestly, I swear to God, my favorite Bruce Willis movie, just fun movie to watch, is Fifth Element.
Oh, yeah, Fifth Element's awesome.
Dude, I watched the shit out of
That's
that.
a fun fucking movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
It's, and I watched it with the kids the other day, and they were all like, oh, what's going on? I mean, there was a few times where there's, like, love scenes and different things going on, but it's like, I guess watching it a little older and realizing, like, what this girl is experiencing and learning about humanity is, like, kind of heartbreaking, you know? But, and then Genevieve got all sensitive about it, and she's like, why is she crying? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, we're not ready to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Yeah.
Trying to think, holiday movie.
Holiday. Like, what's a go-to holiday? Did you
I
watch?
do I love A Christmas Story.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
I just all around. I mean, I've been watching it since I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I think every year I watch it at least once. One year, I think I remember it. TNT plays it for like 24 hours. I must have left it on for a loop.
I'm so vulgar, even as a child,
Yeah.
that I loved Bill Murray's Scrooge.
Oh yeah, Scrooge is great. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I just remember, like, I think everything Bill Murray ever did was just
The
awesome.
story of Ebenezer Scrooge, just the regular Christmas Carol, is
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a cool fucking story all the way around. The idea of getting visited by the ghost and all that shit.
Yeah.
But A Christmas Story, as far as like a family movie for Christmas, is great.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of Ralphie and this fucking rifle, and you'll shoot your eye out. And dude, I every year, I don't know what it is. Like I get sensitive about it, but that final scene where he fucking opens the rifle finally, and his dad's all excited because his dad's such a miserable prick through the whole movie.
Yeah.
And to kind of see his dad acting kind of like a child, like in that moment, like that always kind of got me a little bit. I was like, that's a nice fucking scene, you know?
Yeah.
When Ralphie's opening it up and he's all excited, but then they like pan over to the father, and the father's all excited, you know?
Do you think that there's this,
I think I'm sensitive about father stuff because I'm such,
Yeah.
I'm so sentimental about my father,
well, I
Which
think
I do that to a fault sometimes, like,
Gabby has a really hard time when we go to, Gabby lost her father 9 years ago, I think it was,
Yeah.
right as her and I met.
Oh, wow.
So a big thing is when we go to weddings and they do the father-daughter dance, dude, it
shit.
breaks her down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she, like that was like the one big thing that she really, really wanted is to dance with her dad at our wedding.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think she danced with her brother or anybody. I don't think so. Me and my mom danced. Dude, our wedding was such a shit show. The DJ was a complete fucking idiot. He didn't play nothing. When they came up with the song for me and Gabby to dance, the dude had to play it off his phone because he fucked up and didn't download the song or something.
Jesus.
It was Elvis's song "Can't Help Falling in Love with You," but it was a remake by this woman, and it's a beautiful song, But that, dude, when I think about my wedding day and especially the reception, I'm kind of pissed off because I think the DJ really shit the bed on it, you know, and anyway, we're not supposed to be talking about that, but shit happens,
No, I definitely understand being sensitive about your dad. I just, every day that goes by, I don't think about my dad. And my dad's been dead for fucking Christ, 28 years, I think now.
Do you talk to your time. Do you try to tell your kids stories about your dad?
Yeah, I do. I refer back to him a lot. A lot of I cook with my daughter.
Yeah.
And we make meatballs and shit like that. That's something I do with my dad every week.
Yeah.
So I try to carry on things like that. I keep that picture of my father in the house. Things like that. I tell Victor how much he looks like him. Things like that. I try to keep his memory alive. Because I had a good dad. I mean, he was a character. You
said he was tough, but he was loving.
For me he was. I mean, he was a whole other person to me than he was to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But I had a good pop, and he always made sure that things like Christmas and stuff like that were fucking phenomenal. So he was good. Actually, to kind of segue into a little bit, my dad died on December 1st.
Really?
When I was 15. So it was the week after Thanksgiving. And he had a real rough week. It seemed like everything in his life was kind of falling apart. Somebody fucking crashed into his car out front of the house, fucking drove it right into the telephone pole. It was anything that could go wrong in his life was going wrong. And I remember he had found out that his mother was they gave his mother 6 months to live, and that really fucking broke his heart. She actually lived for another 6 years.
Really?
Yeah, after this. So the week after he had heard that, he died. Real suddenly, and it was December. It's around Christmas time, so obviously the wind was really taking out of our fucking sails.
Yeah.
And prior to my dad dying, me and him used to go to this place in Philadelphia called the Philadelphia Music Company on Snyder Avenue. I just get gotten into playing guitar when I was 14 or so.
Okay.
We were going there when we were making payments on this gold top Les Paul guitar.
Yeah.
Which I think was $525. Wasn't really top of the line, but expensive for us.
Sure.
Kind of thing. So we would go, we dropped $25 on it, $50 here, whatever. It was kind of a system of trying to earn this thing. My dad didn't really care that I wanted to play guitar. He cared that I wanted to draw.
Yeah.
That was the thing that he expounded on. But if I was being creative and I liked it, he didn't shit on it. He would, but so I was going there and in the meantime, I was learning on an acoustic, but I wanted this electric guitar. So then my dad dies, and I kind of just forgot about the guitar. It wasn't even it was the furthest thing from my mind. My dad had this little side business. I don't even say it was a hobby that he made money off of. He was real into Navy patches and insignias and shit like that, and he had this whole collection of them. And he had the select few guys that would come meet him. They would come from out of state to come see him, and they would go through his collection and buy the shit. So he had this whole collection of this stuff. We had no use for it. So my mother sells the entire collection to his friend that would come over, this guy Carl. She sells the entire collection to him. I don't know how much money it was, but it was enough that year for Christmas she bought the guitar.
Really?
And I wasn't expecting that at all. And I just remember waking up. I mean, we had a Christmas tree. We put white lights on it, and we did not give a fuck about Christmas. We just didn't care. That was the only gift that was under the tree that year.
Really?
Was that fucking guitar. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was great that she did that. I don't give my mother enough due, man. When I think about my dad, I kind of I got to remember how grateful I am for my mom. Who she just made shit work with very little,
I think
was
that's
pretty cool.
A parent's job in general.
Yeah, but
don't you think that it
would have been easy for her to fold.
Some
Yeah,
people,
my dad was, like,
some
the
people
real-
might say that about you when you had your children. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, like, he was the breadwinner, he was the provider and stuff like that. She was kind of a housewife, and somehow she managed to pull it together. We never really went without. You know, she did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think she taught you a valuable thing, and I think that you and I have talked about you raising your children, and you and your ex splitting up, and just the way things went, and you.
Yeah, things are good now.
No, I know,
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying, like.
It didn't last too long. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean.
Oh, this is her.
All right.
All right. Yo,
You?
you're on my podcast right now.
What do you mean?
Listen, we're talking about Christmas.
Mhm.
When I was 5 years old,
Mhm.
what do you remember from that Christmas in the bathroom?
I remember you going to the bathroom and everybody wanted to leave. And we couldn't because you had to go. And then you said, no, it won't come out, it won't come out. And then you pushed and pushed. And you said, I'm going to die.
I fucking told you. I'm gonna die.
I'm going to die. And you proceeded to go, and then we went out and we went visiting.
Yeah. I was just telling him the whole story. I said, I guarantee if I call my mom right now, the first thing she's going to say is, I'm going to die. Yeah, pretty funny.
All
right, big girl. I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
And that was
Big Trish.
Big Trish.
Yeah, she's not big at all.
No.
No, that's an ironic nickname.
Miss Lombardo.
Yeah.
Miss? I always get that mixed up.
I guess
Miss,
Mrs.
Mrs.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man. Well, I think as a parent, your job is to just to do, like if you're a solid parent, if you really give a shit about your kids, I don't know. Like I always think that like people, when I meet people that are like selfish and they don't think like this, I try to get the fuck away from them as quick as possible. Because like to me, the way I judge people nowadays is really their morals and how like dude, a lot can be said about people's relationships with their kids or their spouse and how they interact with them. As a person, and even in business, I swear to God, I'm like this. If I see that you are disloyal to your family, I really don't want to do anything with you.
Right.
And that's just, maybe that's an old school way of thinking, but I sincerely judge people like that. If you're disloyal to anybody around you or you have no friends, I don't want to be around you.
Yeah.
I can't fucking trust you, So it's important, it's something to be said,
Yeah.
You have to have a fucking heart in that chest of yours,
Yeah. Like, I don't talk too much about like my personal life and stuff like that, but you had mentioned my ex or whatever. She's not my ex.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I worked that out.
Yeah.
I keep that kind of stuff like close to my chest. Listen, that's, truth be told, that's my best friend.
No,
That's
I wasn't talking about
somebody
her. I'm talking about the mother of your
Oh,
children.
you're talking about my oh,
Yeah,
okay,
no, I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
saying
no.
nothing bad
Oh,
about,
no, okay,
yeah, no, I'm not saying that. That's
Oh.
that's not what I was saying here. I
You're
was
talking
saying
about the boy's mom. Okay.
Yeah, you
All
had
right.
children at a very young age.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And you had to
I thought I didn't know what we were talking about there.
No, I'm saying your children, your first children, you at a very young age had to grow the fuck up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just step up to this responsibility.
Dude, I started working at fucking Kmart when I was 18 years old.
Dude,
Or
I couldn't have
20.
done it. I'm going to tell you right now, man.
Yeah?
I couldn't. No, I was a total. So, first of all.
Listen, I had a lot of help.
Yeah.
I was living at home with my mom.
Yeah.
I was probably paying $100 a week rent.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was out and I just fucking went and found a house and bought it or rented it. I bought a house young.
Yeah.
But I was like, I really
Yeah.
probably had no business. I just went to work every day and said, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you have to do kind of thing. But I had a lot of growing up to do. I had a lot of all the way up until I was probably 30 or so, I was still growing up.
I honestly think that you were an adult child raising children, which is, dude, fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
know?
you're really like an adult until you're like an
30.
adult. Yeah, like because I was my 20s, I was just like a moron. I wasn't
Yeah.
smart with money. I wasn't smart with anything. Like I still wanted to have fun.
But it
you
still
know.
says a lot that you, even though you had these faults and these things that were maybe holding you back,
Right.
you still tried. You fucking did everything you could to make it work.
I don't
you know?
understand people who can't like prioritize things like that.
Dude, there's people out there that just flat out
don't do it.
Listen, man, I don't know. You know, I know some people that just walk away. They just fucking walk away.
Yeah, but I don't. How do you like wake up every day knowing that you did that?
Well, me personally, I just this is the kind of person I'm talking about. Is you're not welcome in my life if that's
It's
the way you
weird.
think.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre kind of way to be.
I don't want you in my fucking household.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. To me, it's I don't know. It's just simple. You know?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about Christmas, man.
I know.
There's happy Christmas thoughts. You know, everything keeps dipping into the fucking
Well, I mean,
sadness.
This
but
is
it's
our
like
second episode. I think we're kind of like, we kind of
usually
come out
we're
the gate-
warmed up.
Yeah,
by
usually
now.
like I think we came in warmed up. So our first episode was fucking. Now I think we're kind of like on that back
we had
end
a
of
good,
it maybe.
we
But
had a good
it's
topic.
still pretty good. Fuck it.
So I mean, even movie wise, we were talking about movies on the previous episode, and now like I always appreciated like the theme of Christmas and the food. I remember as a kid, like Thanksgiving and Christmas were more food.
Yeah,
holidays
people
for
bond
me.
over food, man. Like we did,
Yeah.
we'd have like that big seafood dinner the night before.
Yeah, so
'cause we're Italian.
Well, we believe it or not, my in-laws do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they. I remember like kind of chuckling because I knew that it was Italian.
Right. If there's
but
an
they
excuse
said-
to eat fucking seafood, man, go ahead and
Well,
do it.
that's. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna start no shit here because I mean, I want to fucking eat some shrimp and some.
Yeah,
you know, salmon.
we never did like the traditional.
Yeah.
Because like some of that shit you don't really want to eat. Like
Yeah.
like bacalao is fucking. It's the preparation for bacalao.
How is branzino? Is it good? I always
Yeah,
think
it's
about,
okay.
But you cook it as a whole fish and then you kind of flake the meat out, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
trout is like that. I
I'd
like
much
trout,
rather
but-
just reach for a piece of flounder and some
Yeah.
fucking shrimp and some scallops and shit
Yeah.
like that rather than eat fucking bacalao, which, has to sit out for like, I think like 3 days.
Really?
Yeah, your whole fucking house smells like it and shit like that. And, yeah, like some of that stuff my dad didn't even bother doing. It was like, I'm just
Yeah.
going to make a nice fucking seafood dinner. It would always be like shrimp and linguine,
Yeah.
flounder, scallops,
So-
shrimp.
So this year, because my mother-in-law invited me to start cooking, because I'm the salmon king, dude. I
Yeah.
fucking love
Yeah,
salmon.
no.
So this new dish that I've been doing lately, that my wife and even the kids fucking eat it without arguing, is salmon over linguine with like this heavy cream lemon sauce that I make with a little bit of capers mixed up in it and a
Yeah.
ton of garlic. It's fucking phenomenal. Tons of lemon. Take 2 lemons, cut them the fuck up
I
in
see
slices.
a lot of that. People
you
like
know?
lay lemon down on a fucking grill and just put the salmon right on top of the lemon.
I do the opposite. I lay the lemons on top of it
On
so it
top of it,
soaks
yeah.
down into the fucking meat.
Nice.
And then I still like take a spoon and press on the lemons to kind of like mash the fucking juice out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good, you know? And I have this, so I've been like infusing this Johnny's Alaskan seasoning on the salmon, but also doing the linguine with the it's kind of like a,
Like a scampi.
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like a scampi, you know, but it's good. It's killer. So my mother-in-law stopped by the other, actually, I think she was she watching the kids or something? I don't even know. But I handed her like a Tupperware of it, and I was like, here, try this.
Mm-hmm.
And then she like fucking texted me, like as soon as she got home, she was like, wow, this is like really good.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Salmon's not easy to cook too. Like
No, you don't
have
think?
to. No, I mean, some people fuck it up.
oh yeah, some people
Yeah.
dry it out,
Yeah.
or I don't like when people tinfoil boat it and bake it because it makes it like sloppy and slimy.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that. Like some people think that you just wrap it up in tinfoil and just throw some butter and salt and pepper on it, and it's like, dude, if you do that, it like turns to mush.
I
you
kind
know?
of feel like, not to make this all about cooking or whatever, but like the attention that you pay to your food is like you don't stop really touching it
yeah.
when you're cooking it. Like you have to like really be,
So-
present. You can't just walk away from it and leave it somewhere to
So
let
my-
it do its thing. You know?
My wife watches Gordon Ramsay, and Gordon Ramsay's awesome. Even so, she's watching right now Hell's Kitchen, and like, dude, he's brutal on these people.
Yeah,
but
I've
the
seen
one
it.
thing that he constantly says, and I agree, is, "Did you taste it?
Yeah.
Did you fucking taste it? You're gonna hand this to somebody. Do you even know what it tastes like?
Right.
Because to me, and I really think that I missed my calling. I mean, dude, you and I talk about this a lot. is I think I could work in a kitchen. I
Right.
really sincerely believe I could. I think I have a good tongue and a good palate for, good flavor and bad flavor. I do know that I over season sometimes because I do prefer more seasoning or spice or whatever, But and I'm learning how to dial that back. I'm learning how to
Yeah.
slow down on the fucking, not so many shakes on that fucking oregano.
Yeah.
But it's I do think that like food for me is holidays. When I think about
Yeah.
food,
That's a big part of it.
yeah, even Easter. It's
Look,
like
Christmas Day is a boring fucking day.
Yeah, well,
Once you're done doing the gifts and all that
well,
shit.
you have almost adult children.
Yeah.
Other than your daughter, it's probably like the last year with my kids was the first year when I realized like this is really what I've been missing for a very long time. Dude, them freaking the fuck out, opening them presents. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
here we are. I remember as a kid being that excited.
But it's pretty brief.
It is brief.
Yeah.
The rest of the day, I mean, it's literally half an hour. The rest of the fucking day, you're just sitting there with fucking music playing in the background. And me and Gabby are like, what the fuck do we do now? I guess we'll go take showers and get ready to go somewhere, And we do the same thing. For some reason, with small children in a giant fucking house, we end up bouncing around to everybody else's fucking houses, which drives me insane.
I mean, that only lasted a little while when I was a kid. And then we were like, we're just staying home.
So dude, I'm trying. So Christmas morning, we do have it down to a science that like everybody in the Hunter family, and I think even my in-laws are going to be coming over here, and we're going to do these breakfast quiches, and we'll do present exchanges here, and like that. So Christmas morning's here. My brother Matt usually does Thanksgiving, but my sister-in-law wanted to do it this year, so we went over there. And I'm sure my brother's a little annoyed with me that I did that, but dude, you got to spread the wealth here, You're not the only one that wants to cook, But I do miss that we didn't get a chance to go over there. It's so hard.
Yeah, man.
Your fucking family just keeps growing. These motherfuckers just keep breeding, and it's like, dude,
It's also like
I can't visit all of yous.
I work a lot.
Yeah.
So like when a day off comes, I don't want to spend it fucking traveling around to go see people. You know, like not that I don't want to see people, but I go see my mother and my brother. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't need to go see 3 different fucking families and bounce around from house to house.
I mean, I got this big house and a big yard, and I just keep thinking, dude, one of these days, I always have this dream of not even here at the house, maybe even renting like a Masonic temple or a fucking a hall somewhere, like a union hall or something, and doing a big feast.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Every fucking human that I know is invited.
Yeah.
I don't care who shows up. I don't give a fuck if the homeless guy down in Philly shows up. I don't care.
Right.
Fucking sit down and eat, man. And just make like 10 fucking turkeys and a just ungodly amount of food.
Yeah.
And just open door. Just show up, I would love to do that. I really want to do that.
If this ever takes off or whatever.
Maybe
maybe we
it.
could do it just for, the sake of this.
I mean, even I like when we did a Friendsgiving, which I think is a really cool idea. I think it sucks because everybody's like feels obligated to do these repetitive traditions, but a Friendsgiving is really what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's what it really is supposed to be. But everybody's like, well, my family wants to sit down and fucking bake a dry-ass turkey and fucking, but like on Friendsgiving, everybody's like, no, well, you know what? I wanted baked ziti, so we brought fucking baked ziti. And it's like, dude, you could do whatever you want. It was a feast.
Yeah.
The Thanksgiving idea was a feast of whatever the fuck food you had,
right.
So.
Yeah, food is a big part of the holiday, man, definitely.
Yeah.
Love it.
What do you guys do for Christmas dinner?
Christmas dinner is usually like an Italian meal.
Yeah?
Like meatballs, baked macaroni or lasagna, or, braciole, sausage, all that shit. Yeah, he would go all out for that.
Yeah, I like it, man.
But I mean, he cooked hard every week.
Yeah.
Like every week we did something on a Sunday. But,
I think we're gonna deep fry a turkey for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
For Christmas?
Christmas, yeah. Christmas, not
no
Thanksgiving.
Shit. I never had that. I never had a deep fried turkey. I heard it's good. It's nice and moist.
It's so fucking.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. That's good. That'd be a blast.
Turkey, I love turkey as long as it's not dry as shit. If it's
I
dry,
like the dark meat. That's primarily all I'll really eat from the turkey.
Well, the oils, the peanut oil, when you're deep frying it, it just absorbs.
See, I can't fuck around with peanut oil in my house. Victor's allergic to.
Really?
Yeah, he's allergic to nuts and shit like that.
I don't think you don't have to use peanut oil.
Everywhere we go, he asks them, "You guys use peanut oil?"
Yeah.
He's afraid,
Yeah.
Kill him.
There's got to be something else you can use as. I'm sure there's other oils you can use.
Oh yeah, you
I'll have to
probably
look
use like
into
a
that.
blended oil or vegetable oil if you had to. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. So what else? What else? We got food. We got movies. Were you into like the when you were a kid? Did you watch like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Those claymation Johns?
Yeah.
I mean, I watched them. We would watch them every year in school.
Yeah.
Like school would like put shit like that on. I like animation. So like that part of it I appreciate. I don't think I particularly like those movies as an adult. Like I don't go back and I mean I like the imagery of it, but
I liked in the 90s when claymation and all that stuff became like a little thing for a minute there, but like people were taking like the Island of Misfit toys and making them like scary and shit and like, I liked that. I don't know, it was fun. It was fun.
Right. I don't like shit now. I don't like, because everything is so computer animated and stuff like that. I like handmade fucking special effects, practical special effects. Like I'd much rather watch Star Wars in its original form than watch it now.
I think I think the novelty of
I appreciate the craft of it,
I think the novelty of CGI is still here, but I think at some point they're going to have to infuse going back to traditional makeup artists, but also, maybe dolling it up a little bit because they can. The one thing that I hate about movies is they're taking these, like I watched the most recent Indiana Jones. Dude, they did it again. Like how you and I talked about The Irishman.
Right.
They did it again.
They tried to make Harrison Ford.
They took Harrison Ford and like he's still moving.
Like an old person.
And you're like, what the fuck,
That was my biggest gripe about The Irishman. Is that it's like you see Al Pacino like shuffling around the house. He's shuffling around like an old man.
Yeah.
If you want to make it, he doesn't look young.
Yeah.
Same thing with De Niro. When De Niro stomps that guy outside of the fucking store, it is the weakest fucking beating I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
so,
why?
So that's like the part of like Hollywood movie making that it's like, dude, you're going to have to knock this shit off. I don't know if you're trying to save the budget and not hire a young actor to like step in them roles, but you need to because it looks fucking stupid.
Like his swan song for like mob movies or whatever, and he just wanted to do it as he had always done it. Which, I mean, you can't complain about Joe Pesci's performance in that. Like, that's one of his best performances in any movie. But as far as like trying to make me believe that Robert De Niro's young in that movie, you didn't pull it off.
Yeah.
I would have much rather seen them cast another actor. Not to make this about that movie or whatever, but
No.
I really liked that movie, and I've actually gotten into arguments with people over that shit. I called somebody a cocksucker one time over it. But I just but yeah, man, it's the believability wasn't there, but I like practical special effects. I like stop motion animation. Like I think that's like part of the lore of like my love for like RoboCop. There's a lot of stop motion animation in that, and the old Star Wars shit with Yoda when Yoda was like a Muppet. That was some good shit.
You ever seen that parody of what's it called? Seagulls Stop It Now or something? There's like this fucking YouTube song that somebody made with what's it, Han Solo, or no, not Han Solo, what's his Luke Skywalker and Yoda. And they're having this, so somebody did a lip sync of this fucking song.
I think I have seen shit like this where they take clips from Star Wars, and they set it to like a popular song. I think I did see. Well,
it's
like
this
that.
goofy song.
Yeah.
Seagulls Stop It Now or something like that.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, I fucking chuckle every time I watch it. It's
pretty
just
ridiculous.
Fun. It's fun to watch, and it's like, dude, it's like they did a perfect matchup. It's fucking perfect. It looks exactly like they fucking sung this song, So it's good fun, It's good fun.
The pagan ritual of fucking Christmas.
What's that?
The pagan ritual of Christmas, the Christmas tree and all that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Well, everything we do is...
The origins of it are so weird.
Well, like the whole... Everything we do in our society is so stolen.
Yeah.
It's fake and it's stolen and it's all bullshit. And nobody, like...
Nobody questions it. They just
Whoa!
go, and
if they do, they're always like a super pessimist about it. Like the problem with our country, really, and here we're going to dive into this political bullshit for a second, is like that we really don't hold any value to anything. Like, dude, what is it that we really fucking...
Like, really, what's so meaningful about this day to you? Kind of thing. You know?
Like, is it bad enough to just say, dude, you know what? We need a fucking day where we really just show appreciation to... Like, that's what Thanksgiving is supposed to be. So Thanksgiving's supposed to be the day where, like, dude, listen, man, everybody, even my neighbor that I fucking hate, I kind of appreciate that you cut your grass at least. You know, like, you're supposed to be thankful, you know?
Right.
Which is a good thing.
My thing with, like, Thanksgiving... And when you get these people that are kind of like, oh, you know, we fucking slaughtered the Indians and took the land and all that. It's like, can you just fucking stop? Like, it already, like, is that going to stop you from fucking celebrating?
Yeah.
This, like, what's supposed to be like a family tradition now?
So I think the problem...
I don't need to get into the history of it. Listen, man, there's not a fucking thing in our history that isn't fucking drenched in blood.
Dude.
You know? Like, everything.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm sorry that you feel that way. And I do think the Indians got fucked. But, like...
You know what, though? This is the issue with any pessimist.
Right.
Is...
You're trying to find something negative about every fucking thing.
Yeah, but you're not... You don't even provide a solution.
Yeah, life is too fucking short.
And to me, when you talk to an optimist, when you talk to the opposite, an optimist will say, yeah, I know that occurred.
Right.
But the only thing I can do is be a better person now.
Yeah.
I don't want to go fucking slaughter Indians. I see an Indian,
Here's
I respect
how I look
them,
at it.
You know? A Native American, I'm sorry.
Whatever
you know?
happened. I wasn't there for it. I didn't cause it.
Sure.
No matter what, that Thursday I got the fucking day off.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if that means that, you know, we're going to make a fucking turkey and I'm going to sit around with my family and I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink and whatever the fuck, I'm going to watch a movie.
So even on that same token, because I'll admit this, on Memorial Day I used to get a big fucking like nasty hard on about like, oh, what the fuck? Everybody's just worried about having a fucking barbecue. And it's like, I'm the grumpy fuck right now that's not realizing that, like, dude, you're not doing it. You know, like you're not remembering these people well by sitting here pissing and moaning.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what you should do, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, is that like you should, if you remember somebody that died, you know, overseas or in a conflict, tell their story. Tell a funny story about them. You know, like remember them Remember them well. Remember something good about them. You know, I think that's the best way to honor somebody is to go, dude, this person wasn't just this. This is what I remember about them. They were a really good person in this moment when I shared it with them. You know, that's the best thing you can do.
Yep.
Instead of sitting here pissing and moaning, it's not all about fucking cheeseburgers and hot dogs. Rah, rah, rah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's exactly, dude, these people died so that you can enjoy your life.
Right. We
live in fucking paradise compared to the rest of the world. There are parts of this world that are unbelievably fucking nasty.
Yeah, dire
and
fucking
you should
situations.
Be grateful that on fucking Memorial Day or 4th of July, you get to see some fireworks and nobody's trying to kill you right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Be grateful, man. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think this is what it comes down to every day, but
yeah,
my point of view, like I said, I got the fucking day off.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude.
I didn't kill anybody. I didn't slaughter no Indians. I didn't take the land. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be fucking born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
And if you're giving me the fucking day off.
Dude, I heard about this lawsuit. This spoiled ass fucking little cunt of a kid is, dude, it like enrages me to think about this. I'm going to go off on a tangent for a second here. This college kid is suing her parents because she says they didn't have the right to give birth to her. So,
I remember this. Yeah.
Dude, I want to drown her in a fucking and I want to drown her in a toilet full of my turds. Like after I eat Chipotle the day before. Like I want to drown her in shit water. Like in a fucking porta-john on a construction site in New York City. I want to fucking drown her in blue shit water. Dude, I fucking hate that person.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking dude. That burns me up, dude. The inability to be grateful for any fucking thing just eats my soul alive.
Yeah, if you're just looking for fault in every fucking thing, you kind of get on my nerves. You know?
Yeah.
I see a lot of that sometimes. It's like, it's part of the reason I don't want to fucking be on Facebook at all anymore either.
Yeah.
It's like I just scroll through it, and these like people that are otherwise good people, you know, they got this platform where they can like sound off about shit, and it's like, man, can you just shut the fuck up? Like, shut up. You're ruining my fucking day.
Yeah,
with
but
your
you gotta
bullshit.
you gotta combat that. So like
I don't want to fucking comment on it.
No,
you know how many times I've snoozed people for 30 days?
Sure.
I snooze them all the time.
Well, what I'm saying is like, so Jay Lyons, the guy that was on our episode, dude, you should watch his content.
I see it on Instagram.
It's very positive.
Yeah, it's like family-oriented stuff.
And I really feel like I still do my little jabs. I still like to tell my jokes, but I really sincerely, in like 2019 or 20, Facebook cracked down real hard on content, you know? And I was offended at first because I thought, oh, these motherfuckers are trying to like stifle my sense of humor.
Yeah.
But now I'm to the point where it's like, you know, all right, I'm just going to post positive content, and I'm not even mad about it. Like, I'm not mad about it. There's so much negativity out there.
That's my problem is, like, I'm not even... What I'm concerned about with it is, like, you're taking something as fucking simple as, you know, you're spending time with your family, eating a fucking meal, having a good day with your family, but you got to remind me of all these shitty points about it.
Yeah.
And you're making it a point to. And it's just like, man, I can't fucking take it anymore. I get it. The world is a fucked up place. I totally understand it.
Yeah,
But
you and I can
have
do
a decent fucking day.
Yeah, but you and I can do the opposite, and I do. I do. When something good is going on in my life, or we go camping with the kids or whatever, I post it, and you know what? People are missing. There's a vacuum for that right now. Because I'm always amazed when I post positive posts.
You get better reaction.
Dude, people fucking love it.
But I've like deactivated it. Like, I'm not even like fucking around with it right now because I just need a break.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm not going to reactivate it, but like,
yeah.
For right now, I just want a fucking break from it.
I think people are. I definitely think there's a lot of people living in negativity. But when you post something positive, dude, we bought that truck. Me and my wife bought that truck, and I've always wanted like a really nice. I mean, dude, it is gorgeous inside. When we leave here, I'll let you fucking open it up and look at it. It is beautiful inside that truck. Clearly the nicest thing I've ever fucking owned.
Really? As far as a car goes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like sincerely, you know?
That's cool.
So, like, and my wife used to just say, like, dude, we went and visited my cousin down in El Paso, and his girlfriend at the time, her grandmother owned this ranch, and she had that exact truck, a King Ranch Ford F-250, and we all sat in that truck together, and Gabby was like, my fucking husband's going to have one of these trucks some days. This is a nice fucking truck.
Cool.
Well, I saw the truck and I showed it to her and she was like, yep, that's the one. All right, let's go look at it, you know?
Cool.
So she's really the one that was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do this, you know? We're not getting any younger, you know? Just get it. Just fucking get it, you know?
I mean, if you have the means to, then good for you, you know? Like, why shouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I think you're
not
always...
that, like, you know, I'm not sitting here...
I don't think you should just go emptying your bank account.
No, not at all.
It was thought out, and
I'm not saying
we're making payments on it, and I don't like making payments.
You don't like making payments. You told me.
No, I don't. But you know what, man? Sometimes instead of buying a $3,000 turd that you got to fix every 10 minutes, sometimes it's nice knowing that there's a vehicle out front that just keeps running.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know.
Yeah.
So. Grateful, man. I'm just dude, this is another grateful episode.
This is another wholesome. I think you've turned a corner.
Nah. Next episode, I'm going to invite my mom over here, and it's going to be a fucking wild story.
I bet you that shit would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah?
Bring your mom down here and have a conversation with her.
Dude. I'm going to call her as soon as this episode's over.
Yeah, you should.
You want to hit the music button, and then we'll fucking...
I don't know. How long have we been going?
Oh, yeah, dude. We're in. 58 minutes, man. We did this.
All right, we're fucking done.
Alvin Shitcastle.
Yeah, we're going to talk to you
get
soon,
your fucking,
too, motherfucker.
Get prepared.
I mean, I think we did all right. We fucking tried to touch on some Christmas shit, but
a little
fuck
bit.
it, man. It's a conversation.
Dude, this is what we do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like we always have to justify that.
I know. I'm always trying to structure the show in my brain.
Man,
You know what I mean? It's like I'm kind of
at some point
obsessive-compulsive
they're just
about
going to
it.
tune in and know that this is what Chris and
Yeah.
John do.
Right.
They have this little topic and then they deviate big time.
Now we did our last episode. We kept it together really good. We've had a few guests on that were really good episodes. So I think we've in the last year since we started doing this.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten progressively better, and I think it just came natural, like chemistry wise. So
I think I've plateaued, but I definitely think you've gotten better.
I think if you're not listening to this, you need to start.
Yeah.
But
Well, so that being said, to the listeners we have out there, we really could use your help. In order for us to grow the show, we really need people to share with your friends or like-minded people that would enjoy this kind of content.
yeah, we're not asking you for money.
Nah, not
We don't-
yet.
yeah,
not
not
yet.
yet.
We didn't start the Patreon account
Right.
yet, but
But,
don't worry, it's coming. But we need more followers.
Fucking, if you listen regularly, throw us some constructive criticism if you think something sucks or something. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get offended. We're trying to make a good show for people to listen to. And if you're like, you come out every fucking week and you put us on and, you're adding value to something. So
Sure.
Like, and, we want to know what you think. So,
But
this
more
is-
importantly, when you're hanging out with your pastor or your religious leader or
refer
you know,
back to an episode where,
yeah,
say, hey, Father, do you want to listen to Lollipops in Her Butt? Because my boys, they did this whole podcast where they talked about, Nina Hartley showing up places and putting lollipops in her butt. But, so next time you're out driving around with your priest or your pastor or pastor or whatever.
Maybe
the fuck
your
it is.
mother-in-law, some wholesome person that
put
some
it on.
sweet old lady sitting at the bus stop with you. Just tell her, hey, listen, sweetie.
Yeah. Put
You
the
know,
episode on about, the girls
porn.
from the Big Pimpin' video showing up at the Klan rally. you know?
Yeah, that's a good one. I think she'll appreciate that,
Yeah.
So,
Nah, you know what, man? We had that conversation off air with your boy Jay, and he added a lot of fucking value to that conversation and saying that, like, sometimes you cut your audience in half when you get too out of control. But I think that's part of the appeal is, like,
yeah.
we're just being honest.
Yeah.
We're just being who we are, and that's kind of like, we don't want to deviate too far from being who we are either.
Yeah.
We don't want to become like,
Yeah. Well, I do think that I personally need that little constructive criticism sometimes of like, hey man, sometimes you're over the top, and
Yeah.
I need to know that, like, the problem is I like pushing the boundaries, but that's not always good, due to all my social media stuff. There's definitely guys that are more religious that are like, dude, you are way too much for me, man. My ears can't handle this,
religious.
Yeah, well, or down south, just down south. I know a lot of guys from down south, especially my car content. God, there's a lot of guys from down south that are just like, dude, you're smart. You know what you're talking about, but you curse so much, man.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean, like, you want to stay accessible to people, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Eh.
I think
But this is who we are. You know?
I don't want to not be real,
At the end of the day, we're two guys.
I don't want to turn people off, but I don't
Yeah.
want to not be who I am. I don't want to fucking lie to people.
I think at this moment, honestly, I would really like to start trying to get Delco to appreciate who we are and know who we are. Like, that's my goal, my personal goal for 2024. If we're going to talk about a quick little New Year's, what do they call that? A
resolution,
a goal, whatever, is in 2024, I would like to see Delco embrace us. That's my goal, is this is our community, this is our neighborhood. And then once Delco, then we'll start branching up into Philadelphia, maybe even reaching out to some podcasts in that area, see if we can do a little cross promotion. And that's my goal, is I want to start small and work our way out,
Yeah.
And so the only way to do that is if our friends and family and those that listen to us is to
share it.
Share it. If you're driving in a car with your young children that are impressionable, put on some of our episodes. I'm kidding. Do not do that.
Yeah. Well, it's not like every episode is like...
Yeah, just listen to the last
it runs
two
the
episodes.
gamut. It's like there's no real branding for it. I mean, if you go back, we go from talking about like health and fitness and motivation and stuff like that, to talking about, you know, food and, you know, places to eat, and to talking
Maybe
about
I should start
anything
writing a disclaimer on certain episodes of like, hey, this is a little more explicit. You know?
I mean, we kind of do. In the summaries, we kind of say, hey, this one's a little dark or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not like when we put it up on, you know, Podbean and Apple and stuff like that, but when we make like our post,
yeah,
we kind of describe like, hey, this is what you can expect on this one.
Yeah, but that's not where everybody goes to like,
Yeah.
some people some people do read the quick little bio. They'll read the title on like Apple Podcast or Podbean or Spotify, whatever.
I think sometimes just reading the title lets you know.
Yeah.
You know, some of our titles are
Lollipop
just like,
in the butt is
Lollipops
not
in
for
her butt
children.
is like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, that's definitely shock value.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I hear
sirens. It
I
must
hear
be
sirens. Time to go. Let's play some music.
later.
See you, man. Oh, that might be Santa Claus.
Yeah, it probably is. Thanks for listening to Renaissance Man-Child. Renaissance Man-Child is a Yardbird Tuna production. If you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, and share. Any ideas or suggestions, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, shit!
You talk good.